entrepreneurship and actually making, going into business for myself and actually, looking at an income where when it's all said and done, I will actually be making money where I can actually take care of myself. That's probably something I would have probably never thought of or come to that conclusion, had I not had this loan that's been this monkey on my back for so long. So I look at it also as, an opportunity that's really kind of helped me examine my life, which is something that unfortunately I didn't do because I didn't have any support, and I didn't have the right people really guiding me. Well, I really didn't have anyone guiding me. I just really at 18 years old went to college and having no family support, none whatsoever, no support. Whatever student loan financial aid did not give me, I had to support myself. And for me, it wasn't just it wasn't just my education, but I also had to pay for a place to live because I had no one to help me. So even though, I understand where the money went, it was for education, and it was also to help me live and not be on the street. So it did what it needed to do, and now I just have to man up and do what I need to do and find a way to get rid of it, and I'm determined to do so.
Sure. So great segue. We're going to end in a little bit, but pretty much the whole goal is not to put all your eggs in one basket thinking, oh, I have this degree and the world's going to open up. Allow yourself to explore, tap into your creative self. I mean, everyone's here has some type of creativeness thing about them. Fabiola, I know she can talk anybody under the table, so that's her thing, and she can speak at conferences and do this and do that. So that's her thing. Kristen is the financial guru. I know Dwanger is the master of marketing, and everyone has their own talent. Not in a million years would I think that I would be writing a book. Never ever have I ever thought about writing something, and it just kind of like happened by accident. After okay, I have 10 pages here, 5 pages there, and next thing you know, all right, I'm writing a book. I mean, I've written things before. I've written a thesis that's about 100 pages, so why not write my own book, write my own story? So it definitely gives you an opportunity to. It makes you feel uncomfortable because when you're uncomfortable, you're like, wow, you're really trying to shake this uncomfortable feeling, and that's when you have to tap into yourself because your 9 to 5 is not gonna do it. It's not enough. It's not enough. And even if you get an extra job, you're just gonna pay more taxes.
Right.
So the best thing is to start a business so you can pay less taxes.
Thank you.
Pretty much what's you. And you can have something you can call your own. So I'll
what I would say to that is I think a couple of things. I think, growth happens when you're uncomfortable. The epiphany of life happens when you are very uncomfortable. So you've got to be at the edge in your life to kind of cry out to whomever or whatever, whether it's a higher being, whether it's an ancestor, a family, a friend, or just to like whoever's willing to listen, like a passerby. Because at that very moment, something magical happens. You've got to make a decision to fall over, to take a step back. And the step back that you take could be as little as half an inch, but that half an inch becomes the seed that you now plant for whatever you're growing. And that half a seed is planted in you. So whether it's debt, whatever, right? You've got to decide, how am I going to take this on and cope with it and deal with it, engage it, right? Maybe I need to see someone about my finances. Maybe I need to see Christian. Maybe I need to see a therapist. Maybe I need to talk to my friends. Whatever it is, but that being on the edge is where you can begin to experience what your magic is. If you're not on the edge, you're comfortable, right? If you don't have the debt, you're comfortable. It has its purpose, but you got to know its purpose for you, and it has its benefit, and you got to know how to use that benefit, right? And I think we're now in the bucket of people who have been benefited teachers, we're entrepreneurs, we're whatever. How do we now teach others about how do they engage their debt? How do they engage their creative self within debt or without debt, right? I forgot what else I was going to say. However, I think I'd want to end in that it has its purpose, as you said, right? And I think for all of us, if we did not have this debt, we would not be in this place right now. All right, now I can't pay this mother of a debt. These dollars and these numbers are crazy. What else? What can I do with it, right? How do I make it useful for me? And I think that's the one thing it offers is that being smart from the beginning, right? So you've got a high school kid, you've got someone going to college, you've got children, nephews, whatever. It's beginning to educate people who don't have financial gurus available or who don't have financial knowledge. How do I educate my young person, whoever that is, about making decisions about education? Because at the end of the day, for me, I'm still a proponent of education. I have to because I'm a woman, I'm a mother, but in particularly for me in the context, I'm a woman of color in America. So for me, the doors have to open, but they only open depending on what I bring in with it. So my magic, my talents, but I have to have, in some ways, those credentials, whether it's through networking, whether it's through higher education. I've got to figure out what higher education might mean for me because I have so many more things to fight against so that I can have just a piece of, exactly. So I'm still a proponent of higher education. I think it's how you go into it is what the factor is.
I think initially the idea of student loans was a noble one, that if you didn't have the money to go to school, that the federal government would loan you and your family money so that you could make it happen. So it's like a really kind of beautiful, idea, and there's grants and things to allow people to have equal access to higher education. But something has gotten like way out of whack with the system, and I think it hasn't adapted to like the changing realities of the job market. And tuition has skyrocketed at a ridiculous pace. So there's a lot of things that aren't sort of working. But I think it's a moment of opportunity. Like I feel like there could be big changes that come out of it. And I think we're reevaluating how we educate ourselves, how much that costs. There's a lot of conversation now about having a universal basic income. That's kind of gaining a lot of traction, and there's this idea that everybody would just get a certain amount of income every month regardless of if you're working or not, and then students would have some income while they're in school so that you wouldn't need student loans as much. So there's a lot of like ideas I think that are coming out of this place of like, wait a minute, this isn't working for people anymore, and I think that's exciting. So I like that idea of like having hope, because I think student loans, especially federal, there are a lot of options, and I think rather than thinking about that number of like, I've had clients, I think my record setter was like in the 400,000 student loan debt, yeah.
What did that person study?
She's a veterinarian. Apparently it's super expensive to go to become a vet. But don't feel too sorry for her. She's also making like 6 digits. I think she's making 200,000 or 300,000 a year, so it's a pretty lucrative field, I guess. Yeah. Spread the word.
Yeah. Come on, back.
But yeah, I think like rather than have that number, I tell my clients like just make your monthly payment. Like you can't carry around like 300,000 on your shoulders, like it'll drive you crazy because there's nothing you can do about that number. All you can do is make your payment this month, right? Yeah, and if it's 125 or 800 or 1,200, like just think about that number.
Like the way I look at it is like a mortgage. It's a mortgage for my, it's for my education.
Yeah.
I have a 30-year plan on my mortgage. I have a 30-year plan or whatever, 10-year because I'm a social worker. So I'm in that. I'm actually filling out the paperwork now to actually be in the 10-year public service, that one that you mentioned. So in 10 years, I will hopefully be rid of this thing, and I intend to pay as least as I possibly can.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I've given so much. So yeah, I'm gonna get rid of it.
I think also like in some artists I've seen that like when some people what they've done to pay off their debts is like they've done like a group thing where they will team up to pay one person's debt and then they'll team up to pay somebody else's debt and then,
Like a susu.
yeah, and then they'll end up getting everyone's debt paid off. I mean, sometimes I think about creating GoFundMe. It's still
True.
because I mean people would get GoFundMes for anything. For a birthday party, a baby shower,
Why not?
and
Why
people
not
give
create
them
that?
money. And and I think especially as public servants, like the people who are really working to really help society, that we should be able to form a GoFundMe and get some of it done. So I think that's like also an option. I mean, I haven't done it, but it's always in the back of my mind, like
Why not?
one day, I could just create a GoFundMe and see what I get. So I think I've seen those different options out there, and definitely I'm waiting, for my 10 years, trying to stay on top of it, and just waiting it out because, like you said, that's all you can do is like pay the least you can pay.